Hey, what's going on, everyone? Demetrius Mack here, and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk. This series, for those of you who are new to this series and this is your first time joining me, is a series where I take a more of a serious tone. A series where I talk about things going on in my personal life, sometimes things going on in YouTube, in the YouTube community, things going on in life, just things that I want to talk about, that I take a more serious tone and I take a more serious approach and I want to discuss. And today I want to talk to you guys again about YouTube and the future of YouTube and some things going on with YouTube. As some of you may or may not know, YouTube has been kind of frustrating over this year and a half. They've dealt with us, giving us the problems such as the YouTube's Heroes program, which people thought were going to be a huge problem, and the bugs with the subscribers and YouTube's, and now this latest issue. For those of you who do not know, who do not up, the giant corporations that are pulling their ads off of YouTube. And where to begin this story at? I guess that goes back on March the 16th. This is when the pot really just got stirred, and I will link the article that I am reading this from to you guys, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But this is from the Guardian, and it explains why they pulled their ads from Google. And to read the first paragraph to you guys, it says the Guardian has withdrawn all its online advertising from Google and YouTube after it emerged that its ads were being inadvertently placed next to extremist material. And then their chief executive continues to say that it's completely unacceptable. He says that the Guardian will be withdrawing advertising until Google can, quote, provide guarantees that this ad misplacement via Google and YouTube will not happen in the future. And this was published on March the 16th. Since then, other companies have withdrawn. Big corporations like Coca-Cola, like AT&T, Verizon Wireless, Volkswagen, just to name a few. I think a grand total is maybe at 250, maybe even more than that. The point of this is you might be explaining, okay, so what's the point of all these companies pulling out? Why is this such a big deal? Well, the point of this is these companies pulling out is going to hit the revenue for YouTube and YouTube creators really, really hard. And the next article that I want to read to you guys is from an article on the Business Insider, on businessinsider.com, that was published on March the 27th. And it states that, according to the analyst over at Nomura Instinct, Google and YouTube, they're basically the same thing because Google owns YouTube. Google could lose up to $750 million from this advertiser boycott. And that is a whole hell of a lot of money. Some of you out there may be thinking, "Oh, that's not that much. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. What could that really mean?" Well, I'll tell you exactly what it means. And it means that $750 million that they were using to either pay their content creators or uphold their servers that they were doing is no longer going to be there. And they have already stated that YouTubers and content creators and all that sorts of bunch is obviously going to take a huge pay cut. It's going to take a huge pay cut. And what that essentially means is that YouTubers who were maybe earning a nice living aren't going to be living so nice as it once was. And for YouTubers who are just barely getting by, maybe let's say, someone who just got big enough to become a full-time YouTuber and was just barely able to make this YouTube thing a full-time job, is no longer going to be able to do that. That is no longer the case. And let's not even talk about the people who are trying to make the dream a reality and try to become YouTubers. This is all but, disheartening to those folks who maybe, at part-time, making a little bit of cash, and now that little bit of cash is going to be turned into next to nothing. And the next thing some of you might be wondering out there is, okay, what, Demetrius, why would this be done? Why is this being done to this service that provides, free videos for me that I love, that I have, that has so much great content creators? Why is this happening? And to go back real quick to the Guardian article, and why they pulled their advertisements, I think a while back, I forget which which company it was that went to them. I think it was some media outlet. I think it was the Wall Street Journal. And they went to them and, asked them why they pulled out. And obviously they gave that statement. But then the Wall Street Journal, they didn't stop there. And the media, they didn't stop there. They're going to all these other, companies and basically going up to them and asking them straight up these questions like, why are you going to do what the Guardian is doing? Are you going to pull out of YouTube? Or are you going to continue to fund these terrorists like you have been? And that's really what the big issue is and where this whole thing has been headed. YouTube and their people and the companies that have been advertising on YouTube are starting to feel like that YouTube is no longer a safe space and no longer advertiser friendly because YouTube cannot control where these ads wind up. And since they cannot control where these ads end up, they might end up on something that somebody doesn't want their ad to be on. And to be honest, the companies have absolute rights in order to do this, and YouTube has got to figure this out because right now, like I said, it is estimated that YouTube is going to lose up to $750 million in this upcoming year, which is not good at all. They have lost a ton of advertisers on their stuff already, and it can only go up from here. And so my message to you before I close this thing off, guys, is don't let this dishearten you. Don't let this dishearten you. Don't let this get to you and pretty much just say like, oh, you know what, like I don't want to do YouTube. I don't want to support YouTube, because that's what this media wants. And what I think this is really, when it really boils down to it, folks, I think what this really is just a war of old school versus the new school. I think they see these massive YouTubers with so much sway and so much, confidence and so much ability to speak to such a large audience that was once their responsibility is now going to other people on YouTube, content creators on YouTube. And I just don't think they like that. That's what I think this attack is really stemming from, and why the media is really just pushing it with these absolutely outrageous claims of saying, oh, if you're advertised on something that's like a hate speech video, something, if your advertisement appears on someone preaching, let's say, white supremacy, you automatically support them. And that's not the case, but it's a spot that a lot of companies don't want to be in, and it's a spot a lot of companies don't want to have to deal with. So honestly, them pulling out right now, probably for them, it seems like the best decision to do. And it really sucks, because like I said, these companies are pulling out is going to mean a massive loss. It's going to mean some of the bigger YouTubers who may not have a diversified income, or who have massive employees on their payroll, are probably going to start struggling. And those with a lot of people on their payroll are probably going to have to make some cutbacks, which means people are going to be out of jobs, which really, really, really sucks. So from me to you guys, I know I don't have the biggest audience in the world. I definitely don't have the biggest audience, but I definitely just wanted to get this message across to you guys and to tell you that to keep doing what you're doing. Support your YouTubers by, 1, watching their content, 2, if they have any merchandise at all anyway. If you have the money and you want to, go ahead and support them that way. Or you could support them in their Patreon. $1 a month is usually what most people are asking for, and it's really not that big. And it's really a way just to really show support that us here, the fans, we're still here supporting YouTube, and we want YouTube to fix their stuff so we can get beyond this and we can move forward past all of this nonsense that's going on. So that's just my 2 cents on this situation. I'd love to know what some of you guys think about this situation. I'd really love to know what you guys think about everything that's going on right now. Do you think that the advertisers are right in pulling out? Do you think that the media is right in criticizing these ads being placed on non-advertiser friendly videos? Let me know. There's a lot to discuss here, honestly, and I will keep a close eye on what's going on, as I'm sure many of you out there will. So be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below if you feel you need to. All comments are welcome, negative, positive, whatever. Just let me know what you're thinking. So that's it for this episode of Real Talk. This series premieres once every month, so be sure to check out previous episodes if you enjoyed this video, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, I'm Demetrius Mack, and I'm out. Peace.